Mic check, mic check. Check one, two. Check one, two. Yeah, we on. Christy, Tracy, what's happening?
How did you see that wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
So they both said hey.
I see him now. Hey.
Okay. So you can go ahead and get started.
Okay, well, I guess we'll talk about the actual
Hold on.
purpose for tonight. Okay.
Boom.
So, the purpose for tonight is to give people more information about what we're doing on Wednesday, November the 20th. We're going to be having our monthly meeting, of course, Be That, which is Beyond Education to Help All Thrive. It is a group that focuses on women, women of all ages, typically 18 and above. Anything younger, of course, we would have to get parents' consent. But we talk about life skills, we talk about accountability and just different areas. And so I want to go ahead and plug that and say, if that's something you think you like to get more information about, you can simply go to bethatinc.org. Again, that's bethatinc.org. And we have an events calendar there for you to take a look at what's happening. But for this month, we open it up to the fellas. We're opening it up to the fellas. We're talking about what's wrong with my marriage, okay? Why you put your hood on?
Cuz.
What's wrong with my marriage? And so I thought it was key to talk about that. There's a lot of people who are dating, a lot of people who have been married for some time or even a short time, and they have different questions. They have different things that they're going to go through because y'all going through stuff is just inevitable. You got two different people. It don't matter how much you love each other. You got two different people coming together to be a union of one and having to make decisions that's going to impact both. And so with that comes its challenges, right? And
Absolutely.
so the idea is to allow or create a space, a safe space, because a lot of people don't have a safe space to talk about things that's going on in their marriage. And what you'll be surprised to know is some of the very things that you're going through, other people are going through them too. They just ain't talking about them. Okay?
Exactly.
They're just not
Exactly.
talking about them because they are afraid of what others will think. They are afraid of the possibilities of what they may even discover in their marriage or about themselves. And so this is going to be an opportunity. Again, it's going to be on Wednesday, November the 20th.
Okay.
We're going to be meeting at 266 Highway 11, which is the red and black TC Counseling Building. That building is directly across the street from Brandon Honda, I think is the name of it, but it is a Honda place. But it's a big red and black building. We will be meeting in that event center. We're going to open the doors at 5:45 for you to come on in and get settled in. Now, registration is required.
Yes.
The reason why registration is required because I don't know about y'all, but that's dinner time, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I want to we want to provide you guys with dinner. So again, we do want you guys to come on out, and we do need you to register so that we will know how many people to prepare for. And then, of course, we're going to have some goodies or whatever, but you have to be there in order to get those. So, again, register for that. And we're not going to keep you long, but we do, again, want to provide you with that safe space to get some questions answered, which actually tonight we're also asking for individuals, if there are any topics that you think maybe you've heard in a discussion with a friend or a family member or something of a concern. Doesn't have to be exactly something you want to know, but you know that people want to know. I mean, let's talk about it.
Absolutely. So for those of you that know us personally, we want to ask you if you have any questions about any particular area in marriage, like something that, you want to be anonymous. When we go over it at the conference, we're not going to say, well, Christy asked. We not. So if you have any questions that you would like, it may be something like really, really deep, something that may be challenging your marriage in a major way, and you want some answers, you want some information to be covered, please send me or my wife an inbox with that question, and we're definitely going to put that question on the big screen. What's up?
Step away for just one. Baby.
Oh Lord have mercy. Okay. So she we're gonna cover that. You know what I'm saying? She's being a mom right now. She's such a mom. Well, anyway, so yeah, we want y'all to submit that. And so we're gonna be going over some things. We're gonna be talking. It's gonna be a real, keep it 100 type of situation. You know what I'm saying? And we just gonna be real, raw, and okay, what's something gotta be wrong with the marriage, friends? Why something gotta be wrong? So that's it. It's a double entendre. What's wrong with my marriage? Or what's wrong with my marriage? Some people feel like everything is all good in a marriage. You feel me? They feel like, man, what's wrong with my marriage? However, your spouse, they not feeling too good about the marriage. You feel me? So, and then on the other end, man, what's wrong with my marriage? That something ain't right. You feel me? And so what we want to do is we want to cover those things. We want to talk about those things. And I'm telling you, it's going to be really, really, really dope. You know what I'm saying? So again, we want to talk about some, a few things tonight. Just a few things. What do you say? Okay, so yeah. So yeah, it's like I said, it's a double entendre. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with my marriage? My marriage good. My marriage all right. Me and my husband just fine. But your husband sitting over there looking crazy, or you know what I'm saying? Your husband think everything is all good. Oh man, we good, we straight. But you sitting up looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, so that's why we titled it the way we did. You know what I mean? So that we can be able to, to hit all those areas. You know what I mean? So, again, we want to encourage everybody to go ahead and get registered so we can have, because listen, I know how we do. I know how we do. We like to wait to the last minute to get registered for things and this and that. We're asking you to go ahead and get registered so we can be prepared to take care. We say attack all areas. Absolutely, because we have to be, we have to be proactive in our marriage instead of being reactive. Right. One of the things that, we've gotten the opportunity to see on a consistent basis, people don't seek counsel in their marriage until everything is going haywire. You get what I'm saying? People wait until, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then a lot of times with fellas, you know what I'm saying? They don't hit me up like, man, bro, I need some help, with my marriage until they wife gone. You see what I'm saying? She gone.
It kind of makes me think about the same way how women, at least we know, like we have to see the doctor every year. Not because we're sick, but there's just some things in order for us to maintain our health and our physical body, because we have so much going on. And, we make sure that we go, if not anything, we go to our annual every year. and men can't stand to go to the doctor.
That's unfortunate.
So it's kind of the same thing. A lot of times, you know, and we got to do better.
Yeah. Yeah. We definitely do. And so that with this space that we're creating, where it's kind of like a you know, like a just a checkup. You know what I'm saying? It's like a checkup, and then at the same time, it's preparation, and at the same time, it's elevation. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing about it, the definition of stress is not knowing what to do, and you got a lot of people and they having challenges in their marriage and they don't know what to do. Always signs, but people lie to omission. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. She said, and for sure, there are always signs, but people lie by omission of being truthful. Child, I get.
And listen, and here's the thing, fellas. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, and I know some of the women on here can agree, because by nature we're nurturers, and we're, you know, we want to you know, preserve what we have with the person that we love. But a lot of times, pay attention to the signs. Going back to what she said, pay attention to the signs, because most times when a woman has actually physically left, she already emotionally left way before then. She already emotionally left before she physically left. Like, physically leaving is like the final straw. So you have to pay attention.
Because when a woman's fed up, boom, 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 boom.
But I know typically when a woman physically leaves, she's already emotionally gone. She was already emotionally gone. She was just making her exit plan.
Yeah.
Getting her exit plan together.
Yeah. This is actually a thing. You know, we want to give a perspective. I want to talk about a few things real quick. I want to get your thoughts on some of the issues that we tend to have. I want to look at this right here. All right. Loss of trust. Loss of trust. I just want to talk about it. Let's talk about it. Okay, I'll just go ahead and throw this out there. Okay, so if you have one spouse who have proven themselves to not be faithful, and then they made the decision, okay, I'm going to do right, I'm going to be faithful. But the other spouse, because of their previous behaviors, the other spouse don't trust them. You see what I'm saying? So I want to hear your thoughts on that aspect. And I kind of want to, you know, we can talk about this. One of the ways of restoring trust is by making yourself available to be, you know, you got to check in. You know what I'm saying? Having, you know, being able to let your spouse know, this is who I'm with, this is where I'm gonna go, this is what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? If you've proven yourself to be unfaithful, your spouse is not going to trust you in that regard. Right. You get what I'm saying? So talk about that a little bit.
Well, I can't talk about that as it relates to cheating, because that's just not, praise the Lord. I haven't had that with you.
I'm not talking about with me.
No, I'm just saying, you want me to speak on something that I don't have any experience in, but I will say I don't have any direct experience, but I've seen it growing up. So I do think that there is a area where you have to, in any area, even when it comes to finances, or it comes to how you discipline the kids, whatever that area is, there are going to be, now we got to set these parameters. Now, these are my expectations now, because you broke my trust in this area. So now you're expected to do A, B, and C. I mean, it's no different. Not that you're treating the other like a child, but it's no different from when a child, you know, violates their curfew or something like that. Like, you're expected to be home at a certain time and you break that curfew, then there has to be a consequence served to that. And that now, hey, I got to push you on Life 360 to see where you at. You see what I'm saying? And so the same thing with relation, you know, with a spouse or whatever. Not necessarily to say that as an adult that you have a curfew, but I mean, if you married, you need to be coming in the house at a reasonable time. If you dating anybody, you need to be coming in at a reasonable time, especially if you ain't with them. You know what I mean? And you do have somebody to answer to. It's not about you being grown and you ain't got to tell anybody what you're doing. Yeah, you do.
Right.
Because you're in a committed relationship with somebody and you owe them that. And so if you violate their trust in any area, if you plan on trying to get that trust back, then there's gonna be some extra things required of you to do it.
Absolutely. And you can't feel some type of way about, you know what I'm saying, you having to be in a situation where you have to check in and all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because if you've proven yourself to, you get what I'm saying? So, all right, so we talk about that. Let's talk about this right here. You know what I'm saying? Parenting, differences when it comes to parenting, you know, that have caused challenges in marriage. You know what I'm saying? One spouse say, we not finna beat on our children. The other spouse say, I'm finna beat him down. You get what I'm saying? You know, and there's differences in that, you know what I mean? Not being on the same page. And you know what I'm saying? The child knows that if I go to daddy and daddy say no, I know I can go to mama and mama gonna say yes. You feel me? So you want to speak on that a little bit?
All I'm gonna say is united front.
Break that down for me.
You
Break
and your
that down
spouse
for
got to
me.
be a united front because these kids will try to play you against each other. So you have to have a united front with one another. That's something that has to be discussed, especially when you got these blended families coming together. And because that person wasn't initially a part of that child's life in the first few years or whatever the case may be, then it's a problem. You know, that child, you have to set the standard to the child to know that these are the expectations. When they say something, I've said it. When I said, they said it. You know what I mean? So they don't, because children try to manipulate you.
Yeah.
They'll try to manipulate the situation. And so
you've been very good at that as far as like holding that umbrella up, making sure could you talk about that just briefly, you know what I'm saying, and how you've been able to do that? I mean,
I'm like, they just can't play me. Don't come to me asking me something. Or for instance, if you gotten onto the boards about something and they feeling like you were wrong, or I don't feel like that, they'll come and say, man, I'm like, you know, because they know we go see our babies. Well, baby, what's wrong? And they go tell us what dad did, blah, 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 blah. And I stopped them right there in their tracks and say, well, listen, well, if that's what it is, that's what it is. Don't come to me trying to tell me what your daddy did, because if that's the decision that he made, then that's what he made. Now, with that being said, you can have a conversation with your child about what happened, right, and what the outcome was, it whether you agree with it or not as to how that person handled it. You still have to almost stand 10 toes down and still say, okay, well, that's the consequence of it. Make better choices next time. Or do what he said do the first time. You know, but again, you have to have that conversation with your significant other or your spouse as to, this is how we're going to discipline the kids. Are you going to do corporal punishment? Are you going to do punishments? Are you going to do whippings? What are you going to do? Because, you know, you may start off with a little spanking, but when them children start getting bigger than you may have to throw some blows at them to remind them it don't matter how big you get, you can still get this work. Okay, you're not gonna play me against my husband, and just like, you know, you done got them together and said, hey man, that's my wife, that's your mama, but that's my wife. And so, you know, I don't play that. We because when them kids gone,
right, that's what I be trying to tell people. I be trying to tell people, they be like, you know what I'm saying, oh, my kids, you know, my kids come first. My kids come first. Everything about my kids, you know what I'm saying? Man, if you married, bro, your spouse comes first. Because at the end of the day, if you make it be all about your kids only gonna be with around y'all, but until they get, you know what I'm saying, they young adults. After that, they gone. Now you're trying to deal with this individual who you haven't invested time and energy in. You understand? Because you've been all about your kids. You get what I'm saying? And so that's a serious issue that we definitely have to learn to address, because one of the things that I'm realizing about, you know, people who parent like that is because they're trying to be everything to their children that they didn't have. You get what I'm saying? So if they had mean parents, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna be overly nice and liberal to their children because they don't want their children, they don't want to be looked at the way they look at their parents. You know what I'm saying? And so they'll overly be, you know what I'm saying, let the child get away with murder and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So if one spouse is like, hey, nah, we need to get on to this child, and the other one's like, nah, let's just let them, you know what I'm saying? That ain't okay, man. That ain't okay.
I mean, and there's been times where I felt like you was doing a little much because, you know, but I'm mama bear, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to protect my cubs, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to correct you in front of them boys. Like, because they have to know that this is dad, like, and you're going to respect his authority in the same way that they respect mine. But I would never undermine your authority in front of them. You know what I mean? Like,
I want you to talk about spouses that do stuff like that.
I don't want to talk about folks.
I ain't saying calling nobody name or nothing like that, but we know and we see that's a thing that we see in our culture, in our community. You know what I'm saying? Of, you know what I'm saying, spouses undermining one another in front of the children. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then when that child start getting flipped at the mouth, you can't do nothing about it. Because see, here's the thing. If you're undermining the authority, if your child is undermining the authority of one, what happens when you're not in that home? Say, for instance, when you travel and you go out of town. If I undermine your authority, when you're gone, they're going to try to talk to me and disrespect me any kind of way. They're not going to, you know, follow my instructions when I give them to them. They go disregard the things that I tell them to do. And that can't happen. It just can't happen. And so I appreciate what you put into the boys. They know when you say, take care of your mama, that also means listen to your mama. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, there's no issue with that. So I think, I don't know. That's just an unfortunate thing. That's an unfortunate thing because if you trust this person enough that you're deciding to do life with them and you're bringing them in the home with the kids, why can't you set a standard and demonstrate to these kids the same way that you respect me, you respect this person?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's good. That's good. Can we give us a commercial break and let everybody know what we're preparing for again, you know, for those that are just tuning in?
So for those of you who are just tuning in on Wednesday, November the 20th, Be That, which is Beyond Education to Help All Thrive, we will be having an event where we're inviting men into this setting. It's called What's Wrong with My Marriage? And it is going to be a safe setting where we'll talk about different areas concerning relationships, whether you're dating someone, whether you're looking to begin dating someone, maybe you're already married and you just have some concerns or some unanswered questions. A lot of times, some of us have done premarital counseling and there just wasn't enough transparency available. I mean, they tell us, you know, they make sure you're equally yoked. And do you believe in tithing? Do you believe, you know, the surface thing, which I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying sometimes it's not deep enough. Now, we can never tell you everything about your relationship because your marriage is going to be different from the next person's marriage. And what's happiness for you guys is going to be something different for another couple. But what I am saying, there are some things that should be addressed or should be even brought up that could definitely make or break a marriage because or a relationship. Some people right now have been dating folks for 5 and 7 years and hadn't come to a place of deciding that they want to be married. And I ain't trying to knock you, nothing like that. I'm just saying, like, what we doing? What's the next step? Because if you are afraid to get married, why are you afraid to get married? You know, what is it? Because I think most men, they know.
Oh yeah, they know.
I think y'all know pretty
out the gate.
You know whether or not this wifey right here or this can be wife, because there's never just one person that, you know, on this one person can be your spouse or whatever. But what I'm saying is, I mean, getting married it's work.
Absolutely.
It's work. But it don't have to be hard.
Right. We pinned the the profile for Be That Inc. So we want you to go ahead. For those of you that are tuning in, please go ahead and follow the page for Be That Inc. And as we prepare for this, there's a comment that this sister put up. I wanted to I'm glad
you're going back to that.
Yeah. She said, so like, what's the reason the spouse was cheating? Finance, lack of intimacy, neglect from being very busy, or is the spouse just a cheater? What's on the surface of the cheating? That's a good question. You want to jump on that?
I actually would like for her to give a little more detail when she says what's on the surface of the cheating, because my reason for saying it, because that's a great question. What is the reason for cheating? Because it can be a lot of things that could lead to cheating. And I'm gonna be, the ladies ain't gonna like me for this moment that I'm gonna say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. And I guess it can go either way, whether it's the male cheating or the female cheating, but somewhere we played a part in that. Somewhere women don't like to hear that. When a man cheat on them, they like to say, oh, he a dog and just men cheating, all this kind of stuff. But there was a part that we played in that, whether it was knowingly or unknowingly. Maybe it was just something you were being negligent in, or you simply disregarded because you got busy being mom and forgot to be wife. Whatever it is, and this is not me attacking anybody. I'm just keeping it real. Like, I don't care if it was 5% that you contributed to the cause of it. You know what type of man you got. You know what he need. He may not be strong enough to abstain from his work wife. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, like, in the same way how men have a position to protect us and protect and provide and preserve us, we got a position to protect, pray over and protect and preserve our men as well. We can't send you out there, like, I ain't finna send you out there hungry because I ain't feeding you. You can get all the cookies you want because I don't need nobody else offering you none. And I'm gonna leave that right there because I want y'all to come. I want you getting mad at me, then you don't want to come.
Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Right. It's not an excuse. It's definitely not an excuse at all. But I mean, it is.
And at the same time, with us, she was saying with the lack of intimacy, a lot of us as men, we were never taught the concept of intimacy. That has not been a cultural thing. You know what I'm saying? Our idea of intimacy is having sex. You get what I'm saying? And so the concept of being intimate, you have to learn this stuff, because a lot of us, especially those of us who did not get a lot of attention, when it comes to being loved on and stuff like that, we learned how to disassociate. And when we disassociate from our feelings and emotions, we got in our mind, we don't need that. You know what I'm saying? And so, because we saying we don't need that, but she need that. You get what I'm saying? But you say, I don't get down like that. I don't do all that. You get what I'm saying? So now when she go to work, you know what I'm saying? And bro, man, hey, how you doing, sister? You know what I'm saying? And she like, oh my God. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And that puts her in a very compromising situation. And you got a lot of sisters, they got work husbands. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell your wife she's beautiful because I don't feel like I have to do all that. You can't tell your wife you love her because you don't get that. She know I love her, I pay the bills, but she need to hear you say that. You get what I'm saying? And so now, you too cool to tell her, baby, you look real nice. You know what I'm saying? I like how you put that on. And you're not telling her that because you feel like you don't have to do all that. But when she go to work, you know what I'm saying? Tyrone in there like, man, I like them pants you got on. I like how you put them pants on, girl. You wearing the pants.
New hairstyle and your nails.
Oh, you did something to your hair. Yeah. I like that. She like, for real. But you don't do that. at the house. You dig? So we play a lot of parts in situations like that.
Is a lot of times with the cheating, it ain't even always about the sex, because you could be sexing your man up, but if you're not affirming him, and the old girl at work affirming him, it may end up in the bed. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not always, oh, I can't believe he cheating on me and da. Well, it the result may have been he slept with somebody else. And I'm just using men. I'm not trying to attack the men, but I'm a female, so I'm just talking about men, right? But I'm just saying, like, it may not necessarily be that he wanted to sleep with her or he wanted to cheat on her, or cheat with that particular person. It's just that person was providing the need that he wasn't getting at home. So even if you having sex all the time, but you're never affirming this man in his position, you're never showing your appreciation, you never giving him the affection that he needs and different things like that, but then this other person is, it starts there and then it ends up in the bed a lot of times. Right. People don't just wake up, man, how I get in this girl bed?
It didn't happen like that. It didn't happen like that at all. Let's see. We got another comment came in. Okay, but that's real, friend. The conversation has to be had. Absolutely. Men love to protect and provide. However, a lot of times women like to get away from the protection and then blame the man for not protecting. Oh my God. We have to listen. We have to listen. Both parties now. If we're outside of the realm, if we're outside the realm of that, we make it possible for him to actually protect. That's funny. That's funny. Hold on. Okay, she dropped another one. Say, when is it? Give the information about the event one more time.
Wednesday, November 20th. Doors are going to be open at 5:45. We're going to get started at 6, and we are going to wrap it up by 7:30.
Okay, absolutely. Tracy said, first off, in order to be better, we have to get out our feelings of being attacked. Conversation has to be had.
Yeah, it has to be. But people don't want to talk about that, though. Some people don't want to be held accountable. Some people, anyway, I ain't going to keep going. No, we just keep going.
Go there.
No, I'm just saying people don't want to, just like you said, the conversation does have to be had. Like, when you think about it, for those people who may have experienced that, what role did you play in that caused that rift in your marriage? Because getting married is saying, yes, I do every day. It's saying I do every day. That's why I'm so glad that for our anniversary we did I still do.
Right.
Because that's what it is.
Absolutely.
You got to continue in that thing.
Absolutely. What's your thoughts on we kind of brought it up a little bit when we talked we're talking about what's the Mary sister?
I love her. I love both of them, but my favorite was Tina. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the one that
with the red hair.
Okay. And when she talked about, she said that she was the reason that her husband was cheating. She violated the girl code, and all the women came for her head. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is that a thing? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I believe it's a thing for a woman who don't know. I mean, it's a difference. It's a difference. When you really understand the roles and responsibility of being a wife, the roles and responsibility of being a husband, there's just some things you're not going to do. I remember, because I used to love that reality show, and she talked about her being gone so much because they were always doing concerts. There was always a way. And I mean, she just wasn't putting in enough time with her husband. And so she left him out there. You know what I mean? Now, does he have responsibility to say no?
Yes.
He absolutely does. But we already know. I mean, if you hungry and you ain't ate in days, and somebody came and offered you a burnt Well, burnt bologna is good, so I guess a burnt, just something that just wasn't prepared well. It don't even look good. It don't even smell good for real, but it's available, and you hungry, you go eat it, right?
Right,
It's the same thing.
Wow.
It's the same thing. So I think when she made that statement, I immediately knew what she was talking about, because she recognized in that she had allowed her busyness in the career to overshadow what she need to be doing at home to preserve her man. You know what I mean?
Right. So, that's real. That's real. I applauded her for doing that. You know what I'm saying? And I hate the fact that sisters got angry with her and was attacking her. You know what I'm saying? For her presenting what she presented. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, we got another comment. Said, that. Marriage is truly pure communication and respecting and not being defensive when an issue is addressed. You know, we definitely have to work on that, you know, because we tend to get defensive when an issue is addressed, because the defensiveness is all due to, you know, I feel bad that I did not do right. And so you're presenting the fact that I did wrong or I missed it or whatever the case may be. That's where the defensiveness comes from. You know what I'm saying? And so that's something that we tend to do, you know, a lot of times, and we definitely have to communicate. Yes, after my first marriage, I stopped telling people what he did to me. I would tell them what I learned and what I could have done better. I didn't excuse him, but I had some actions in that marriage that also led to my divorce.
There you go, accountability.
You the GOAT. You snapped on that. That's good stuff right there. I love it. I love it. We have to, you know, because marriage is two imperfect people coming together as one. So with us being imperfect people, we have to be able to accept our imperfections and own our imperfections and work to correct those imperfections. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up right there. Look at that. Brother said, you can't get rid of something you don't own. She owned it. That's awesome. Powerful, 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 powerful. But God restores and rewards. Guess who's happily married now?
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So yeah, tell us one more time about the up and coming event that we have, and we're gonna wrap it up, man. And again, y'all got any questions or comments or anything that you want to be addressed at the event, please submit those questions or comments to myself or to my wife. And at the event, we are definitely going to put that. We're not going to put your name on there, but we're going to put that on the board, and we're going to talk about this particular issue. No matter how crazy, how wild, how outlandish, no matter how foul or whatever the situation may be, please submit that information to us, and we are definitely going to communicate that information at the event. Please tell us more about the event.
Okay, so again, it's going to be on November the 20th. That is a Wednesday, guys. It is a Wednesday. We're going to open the doors at 5:45. We're going to get started at 6. And we're going to wrap up at 7:30 because we are being mindful that that is a work night, you know. But we want to make sure that you guys get information. You know, we want to give you an opportunity to get information. We don't profess to know it all by no means, but we do have experience, and we, you know, the Holy Spirit will be there to help us with that as well. And I just believe it's important for individuals and other couples to just simply create these safe spaces where people can get questions answered. Just get questions answered and be able to discuss concerns that they have within their relationship. And even for the single people that are going to come.
Absolutely.
We do have it open to everybody, but even to the single people, because a lot of people, especially the older single people, because older single people, it's been you.
For a long time.
For a long time. And so, again, wanting to transition into, because even if you're dating somebody, if y'all not living together, it's still a different dynamic. Because when you're living in the same household with someone, if that's something that you're looking to do, this is an event for you as well, just to get ahead. Because you don't have to make the same mistakes that other people have made. You can simply learn from their mistakes or get information to prevent
Absolutely.
you from even having to face those things. But being true to yourself.
Absolutely. And I want to say this also, we are presenting information that is, it's not limited to, but it is surrounding our cultural experience. You know what I'm saying? Because our cultural experience is totally different from other people's cultural experience. You know what I mean? Not knocking other marriage events that a lot of times we pile up and we pack up and we run and we throw money at, and we go and we take pictures at those events. You know what I'm saying? And they're sharing good information. However, there's information that has to be communicated that is based off of our cultural experience. Right. And our cultural experience is different. You see what I'm saying? The cultural experience, what Black women have going on is totally different from what any other woman has going on in the Asian community, white community, Hispanic community. It's totally different. You feel me? The experience of African-American men is a total different experience from any other man, you know what I'm saying, in any other people group. So the information, again, that we're going to be communicating is going to be based on our cultural experience. Right. You get what I'm saying? And so it's very important that we're able to address certain things based off of our cultural experience.
So I see Rudolph Ward, he said it's a little too close for him. He won't be able to be here. But I will say there will be an upcoming men's event that my husband will be doing. I don't have all the details about that, but just make sure that you're following his page to get information about that. And then, of course, we are planning to do an event in February for couples. As a matter of fact, that will be a conference.
Absolutely.
Will be a conference. But that's not to say, I'll just skip this one and come to the one in February, because it's going to be different.
Absolutely.
It's definitely going to be different. This is, just a smaller setting, being more specific with the title that we gave. And so in February, it's definitely going to be different. And it's going to include other guest speakers.
Yes.
So again, continue to follow my husband, LP, like Paul, and get information about those upcoming events as well.
Absolutely. Brother, we definitely appreciate you, man. He's going to be coming from out of town. Me and him, we've talked, we got some things that we're going to be working on together. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to make some stuff happen. But yeah, man, we definitely want y'all to come through, man. Again, the event is going to be super dope. It's going to bless you. This is for single people, married people, people that got a girlfriend, people that got a boyfriend, whatever the case may be, whatever your situation is, it's just you, oh Lord, and you stand in need of prayer. You come through too, because it's a great possibility you're going to be engaging in getting into a relationship, and we're providing information. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get into relationships and they get into stuff and it's like, I didn't know. I just didn't know. Because I mean, for real, who taught you how to be married? I'll wait. Who taught you how to be married? Who taught you how to be a wife? A good wife? Who taught you how to be a good husband? So we getting into these things with little or no information, and we just giving it our best shot. And a lot of time our best shot is not good enough. Okay. You feel me? So what we have to do is we have to come together and we got to compare notes. Like,
right. And we're doing what we saw. And here's the thing, what I tell women all the time, the way that woman love her husband may not be the way that your husband needs you to love him.
That's true.
Right. So a lot of times we do what we see what our mothers have done, or where, Big Mama did, how she loved granddad, whatever. And we have to find out, what does it take to love this man? Mm-hmm. The one that I said I do to, the one that I've decided to do life with. What's required of me to make him feel fulfilled?
Right.
How can I love him in a way that he needs me to love him?
You see how she grabbing on that bicep? You know what I'm saying? She know I need that. You feel me?
So yeah, I mean, you have to learn that stuff. And that goes back as the basics of 5 love languages. My God.
Absolutely.
I mean, but we'll talk about all that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So again, I do need you guys to register though, because of course we are planning on providing dinner.
Right.
Now, somebody did ask me earlier, can they pay on site? You can pay on site, but I can't tell you I'm gonna have something for you to eat. I'm just gonna go and tell you. I just don't know. So the registration is set so that we can get an accurate number so we can minimize waste of food. Okay, because the intent is to only charge what's needed to cover the building and the food service that we're providing you guys. Okay, and so just make sure that you register if you can. And then if not, you can pay at the actual event. And then my friend is asking about vegan. Friend, if you come, I would definitely make sure that there's a meal specifically for any other vegan. But again, in the registration, it does ask. I think I put in there about allergies or whatever, but there is an area where you can put notes. So if you need to specify anything. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to address this last comment and then we're going to shut it down. Brother said, and it's time to keep it all the way real and transparent, or your marriage will really be living a fairy tale.
We're going to talk about that too.
Yeah, we're going to deal with that, man. Because, and unfortunately, the fairy tale have been sold to women.
Absolutely, it has.
It's been sold to y'all, like since y'all was a little girl. You feel me? Prince Charming is gonna come in on a horse and he gonna rescue you, and y'all gonna go out into the sunset and live happily ever after. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you got your big pretty dress, and you know what I'm saying, and you're gonna walk down the aisle. Everybody's gonna stand up and look at you, and they're gonna sing a song specifically and exclusively to you, and they gonna and it's gonna, girl, and then you're gonna go into your marriage thinking that same way, feeling that same way. But get what? Ain't how it is, baby. But see, we as men, we wasn't sold that idea of the fairy tale. We knew like we was gonna get into this. And dang, okay, what I gotta do? Dang, all right. What I gotta do? Dang, okay. You know what I'm saying? So, man, we gonna talk about all that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's real. So, anyway, man, we love y'all so very much. One more time, one more commercial break, and then we gonna get out of here.
It's gonna be Wednesday, November the 20th. Doors open at 5:45. We're gonna get started promptly at 6, and we'll have you out there by 7:30. Again, that's at the TC Event Center that's located at 266 Highway 11, the red and black building across the street from Brandon Honda.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We love y'all. We thank God for y'all. And y'all got any questions, comments, or concerns, please shoot us an inbox. You know what I'm saying? And we'll be getting back with you. If you have any questions, statements, or concerns that you would like to be addressed at the event, your name will not be put up there, but we will be putting that information. I don't care how outlandish it is. I don't care how graphic it is. I don't care how, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to put your name and your situation out there, but we're going to definitely address what you present to us.
And there's going to be a few activities that you guys will be doing as well. You won't have to share out some things, but it's going to give you the opportunity to think on some things, to evaluate concerning your relationship.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thank God for y'all. And y'all have a good night.
Good night.
All right.